Welcome to Invictus Forum. We are going to start with a series of revision questions on the prescribed text for English language 730 advanced level. We are going to pick some special questions to help you prepare for the upcoming examination. I want to thank you for those who have been following us on Invictus Forum on YouTube and those who have been following us on Facebook at Invictus Forum. Remember that the questions in English language is a single question that is asked, and the students have to cut across the various texts handling the same issue that has been raised in the question. Question number 1. Justify that certain individuals in society use others for their personal needs or satisfaction. Here we have a question where you have to identify the individual. It can be a leader, it can be someone who takes advantage or uses others in order to gain personal satisfaction. In Lake God, Father Leo raises from Joseph. He sends him to school, raises him up like his son. He gives him money. He uses money to bribe kingmakers so that he can be put on the throne. He continues to give him money to buy cattle because he wants to manipulate him for his personal satisfaction of spreading the gospel, Christianity. He does not do it for the welfare of the people or that of the fund. Consequently, the fund is in constant problem with his subjects because he refuses to perform his royal duties, such as performing the sacrifice to the lake god, to the advantage of Christianity and Father Leo. The fund also uses his thugs to send away elders who are supposed to be constantly by his side at the palace. On the other hand, he accepts Father Leo to come to the palace whenever he wants, even to the point that Father Leo enters into the fund's secret chamber, which is forbidden even to the chief priest. When Sheboyo goes to the palace to remind the fund of the catastrophe that awaits the community if the sacrifice is not offered to the lake god and the gods become angry, it will be catastrophic. The fund sends his thugs who beat the chief priest mercilessly and throw him out of the palace, claiming that he is a Christian monarch. He does not rule for the welfare of the people. He rules because he wants to impress Father Leo and continue to get the money and the help that Father Leo has been bringing to him. The women go to the palace because their crops have been destroyed by cattle. Father Leo the fawn uses Dewa to raise his cattle. And when the woman came and asked the fawn to send the cattle rearers away, the fawn decides to bribe them, disguised as compensation, which the women refuse. He does this because part of the cattle that has destroyed village crops belong to him. Therefore, the women have no other choice but to put pressure on Angela by refusing to sell food to her. And they refuse to recognize her as their queen in order to put pressure on the fawn to do the right thing. In Madame Bovary, Mrs. Bovary engages her son to contract a marriage with Heloise, hoping that she still possesses her wealth. Whereas she had lost her wealth in a previous relationship. Mrs. Bovary does not contract this marriage with Charles out of love, but because she wants to give her son financial security in the future. Emma uses her marriage to Charles to get a taste of aristocratic life. Remember, Charles belongs to the profession of professions, medicine. And while they are a toastess, she gets a glimpse of what aristocratic life is because of the constant invitation that her husband gets from the nobility. And this pushes her to ask her husband that they move to Yonville, which is a bigger town, and there she gets exposed to this aristocratic life. She does not put pressure on her husband to move to the town because she wants him to prosper in his profession, but she wants to get a better taste of what upper class society and life looks like. And this ends her into so much trouble and pain because she can't cope up with the expensive lifestyle. Emma, while in Yonville, falls in love with the young and naive Leon. She exploits Leon's naivety to fall in love in a romantic relationship. The two become inseparable. She has already developed a spirit of resentment for her husband, whom she does not seem to see as being romantic. And there are other shortcomings. And therefore her relationship to Leon has nothing to do with money, but to fulfill her emotional desires and satisfaction. Rodolphe also falls in love with Emma, not because of love, but he wants to exploit her emotional frailty for him to satisfy himself emotionally and get sexual gratification. In A Walk in the Night, the whites exploit blacks through cheap employment to enrich themselves. Michael Adonis works in a steel factory, in a metal factory. And despite his hard work, he takes off just some little time to ease himself. And this is enough for him to be scolded. And this leads to him being summarily dismissed from his place of work. It should be noted that whites deliberately make blacks not to be empowered so that they can exploit them to enrich themselves. Constable Rat goes to visit Chip at the gambling joint. And when he comes there, he collects bribe from him to enrich himself, highlighting corruption. Michael comes back home from his place of work after being dismissed with a lot of anger. And despite the fact that Uncle Dottie wants to console him with a bottle of alcohol, he becomes angry, hits him with a bottle, and kills him to take out his frustration. The white sailors visit the prostitute joint where they exploit the desperateness of the black prostitutes for their personal satisfaction. They treat these young girls in a very dehumanizing manner, pushing Willie Boy to get angry and get involved in a fight. The white sailors do not do this because they love the young girls, but because they want to get sexual gratification, highlighting sexual exploitation and moral indecency. Constable Rat has a failed marriage and he hates blacks. When he learns about the fact that Willie Boy might be responsible for the death of Uncle Dottie, he puts up a manhunt for the young man. He shoots him, allows him to bleed to death behind the van to take out his frustration in his matrimonial home. In Across the Mongolo, the young gendarme collects money from drivers in order to make money for himself. Quenty also uses his office meant to grant scholarship for students. Yet he collects bribes from Anglophone students so that their names can be added in the scholarship list in order to enrich himself, highlighting corruption. Teachers also exploit students by having sexual relationships with them on campus, and they give them question papers before the writing session. The dean of the Faculty of Law also has a student girlfriend whom he takes for weekend to Paris. And at the same time, you see Abeso is also dating Shirela, whom he wants to exploit sexually. Although Shirela claims to love Ngwe, we understand that she's dating Mr. Abeso not because she loves him, but because she wants to have some material benefit. Here we are therefore saying that these individuals are using others for their personal benefit. Thank you for watching. Click to this channel and subscribe to it. Follow us. Share our videos to other students so that they too can also benefit from the revision that we are making. Thank you very much, and leave us a comment to tell us what you think about what we are doing here. Have a blessed day.